Aloha. My name is Zelie Duvauchelle, and I was born and raised here in Hawaii, right here in Molokai. In fact, right here in this environment, and this environment informed me as I was growing up. And this is where I played as a child, and this is where I played in the rain and watched the trees grow up, and the trees watched me grow up. And Molokai, growing up here was an amazing experience. I got to, I think, experience things on the planet that a lot of people don't experience because Molokai is virtually undeveloped still. And so when I was growing up, it was even more undeveloped. And I grew up with a lot of the kupuna, the elders. In fact, I was raised by my grandparents. And so I was able to learn a lot of the old songs and be around people who were native speakers. And in fact, my aunt Zelie, Duvauchelle, who I'm named after, was a manaleo. She was fluent in Hawaiian. My father was Auntie Zelie was his favorite aunt, so he named me after her. Her name, Kulia Ikanu'u, actually was given to her by Lili'u Okalani. My grandparents had a hotel right up here in Puko'o Valley, and when Lili'u would visit Molokai, this is where she would stay. And they tell the story of her coming there and greeting all the children. My grandfather was one of 15 children, so they had a lot of keikis. And the queen was visiting, and she said to all the kids, she was asking the children, oh, what's your Hawaiian name? What's your Hawaiian name? What's your Hawaiian name? And everybody was telling their Hawaiian names and came to my aunt Zelie, and her Hawaiian name at the time was Anakulia, which means Anna Julia. And she kind of reluctantly told the queen, oh, my name's Anakulia, but that's not really Hawaiian. And so Lili'u, the story goes that Lili'u said to her, well, then I'll give you a Hawaiian name, and your name will be Kulia Ikanu'u. And so my aunt actually had her name legally changed to Kulia Ikanu'u. So that's how I got my name, from her. And it means to aim to the highest. And it was a motto of one of our queens. And so it's we give names in Hawaii as a way of giving to the child mana, this particular mana that they're going to carry for the rest of their lives. So naming was it was done in a very conscious way and a very purposeful way. You don't want to give your child any name. You want to give a name that child is going to carry, and particularly trying to align with the child's soul, what the child's work will be in the world, what you want the child to go out and be in the world. This is a Hawaiian way of naming. So I grew up with these kinds of traditions and these kinds of values, and it's what's informed who I am in the world today. And how I behave and how I go about my life in the world today is because of this. Because I was raised here, because the elements were very alive. Molokai, this place, Molokai Nui Ahina, it's one of the most, each island has its flavor and its sayings, its poetic sayings that give you the soul, really, of the place. So some of the sayings of Molokai are Molokai Nui a Hina, Molokai, great child of Hina. And Hina is a well-known mythological feminine character or a deity that represents things of the soul, things of nature. She was the one who did the tapa. She's also the goddess of the moon. And so the moon, if we think of the moon and all the things that are involved with the moon, it's a watery It has to do with the more of the water elements and the night. So we're talking more about an embodied knowledge for if you were to look at it in that way. It's an embodied knowledge, something that you have. Pa'a. Pa'a is something in Hawaiian that is a word that means embodied. You have something that's in you. You not just, it's not just something you talk about, it's something that is actually something that you have learned and something that you know how to apply in the world. Another saying for Molokai is Molokai pule o, Molokai of potent prayer. So I always tell people when you come here, to Molokai, to really be aware of your thoughts and be aware of what you're praying for, what you're thinking, even what you're thinking, because thoughts are prayers as well. If we're thinking something over and over again, we're bringing them into our lives. So Molokai pule o, Molokai of potent prayer, tells you about the energy of this place. It tells you, it speaks to you of the deep mana that's here, the deep energy that's here, the kind of feminine energy, that kind of feminine power, that comes from inside. It's an internal process. It's inside of you. You're na'au. It comes from that place of the moon. And let's see, another saying for Molokai is Molokai aina mo mona. So, along this shoreline here are hundreds of fish ponds. And the fish ponds, so the Hawaiians, the ancient Hawaiians, did aquaculture. And, there was a way of living with the land. There were ahupua'as, which are units of land from the mountains to the sea. And people lived in these ahupua'as, and the ahupua'as were self-contained communities. And one of the big catchwords nowadays is sustainability. Well, they were talk about sustainability. This ahupua'a system was definitely a sustainable community. The people at the sea fished and cultivated fish in these fish ponds, while the people of the mountains grew taro and different kinds of agriculture, so that they were trading back and forth, and then the whole community thrived by living and being dependent on each other. There's a way in which we've gotten so independent, I think, in the modern world, and this idea of dependency has been looked at as a weakness. But really, we are all dependent on each other. I mean, the whole world, we're all dependent on each other. If we know that and we work together as a community, as a world community, Molokai, I think, for me, I look at it as a microcosm for what's going on in the world. And I need only to look around in my community to see what the energies are, what things are going on in the greater community. And this is a very small community, a very tight community. There are we still live the values in many ways of old Hawaii. There's the kupuna are well respected, the elders are well respected. There's a way in which community all hangs out together. So the young people are with the old people, and the people of all ages, so that we have and we all learn from each other, and we all respect each other. We have Molokai, of course, has its problems too, and there are some amazing things going on here with looking at how to live sustainably. Something that I've been tracking lately is the voyage of the Hokulea and the Hikianalia that they just arrived in Tahiti a few days ago. And there's this It's a worldwide voyage. They're traveling to 26 countries. And it's really symbolic of what's going on in Hawaii right now. Because there's this way in which whatever, I look at the Hokulea as the soul of Hawaii. And what I see is that there's this time of going out, that we're in this time where we need to share aloha, as well as a lot of the values that we have around how to be in relationship with the earth. Because this is something that that I feel like is our kuleana. It's our responsibility and our privilege to share with the rest of the world, because it's something that our ancestors were very adept at, and something that we have in ourselves. And so anyway, the hokulea is going out and sharing with the world. They're calling it the Malama Honua worldwide voyage, which is, to care for the earth. So they're going, these ambassadors, if you will, from Hawaii are going out into the world and finding ways to share our cultural values. And if you look at the hokulea as if I mythologize it, for example, I would say that this voyaging canoe carrying these ambassadors of aloha and these ambassadors of how to care for the land, going out and sharing that with the world. It's a time on the planet where that is so necessary, because there's so many people who have lost touch with that. And here on Molokai, we are very close to that still, because we live very close to the land. So many of us live a sustainable lifestyle, like I get food from my, people bring me deer meat or fish, and I give them papayas, and then I get bananas, and there's still a lot of that kind of lifestyle and living that goes on here. So this is our kuleana. This is what we have to share. So in looking at that, and then when I look at the songs that I've written, the music that I've been writing it has all those values in it. It has the values of sustainability, of nature, of this deep, deep love for nature. That we have such a deep love for our place, Hawaii, for our place, Molokai. Anybody you talk to from here, if you're from here, there's it's in your bones. The love is so deep. And when like one of my songs, Kale Uilani, for example, is a song that goes throughout the Hawaiian archipelago and goes to each island, and really is a salute to each island, and my giving, my ho'okupu, my gift of love that I'm giving through the song, offering this love and telling each island how much I love the island. And in this way also gathering mana, if you will, from each island, gathering energy and creating within the song a unified field, so that when I go out into the world with these songs, or when these songs go out into the world, that is contained inside of the music. So when I'm singing it, if I have the embodied knowledge that I get from being here on Molokai, and I offer that knowledge through song, that's going to come through in the vibration of the music. That's science is, there's lots of things around, lots of people doing sound healing in all different ways, with technological music, with ancient chanting, with all of it, because inside of the songs, the particular vibration that you convey through the songs gets transmitted. We can't get away from sound. Sound is all around us, and it permeates us, and it informs us It informs our bodies, it informs our energetic fields, it informs our emotions. These songs, like Ka'apuni o Molokai, again, a paddling song, a canoe song. Canoes are very important in Hawaii. They're symbolic, again, to me, of the canoes and the way of the va'a, paddling or sailing, are great ways to teach. And I understand that the DOE is also, the Department of Education here in Hawaii, is also using the va'a, the voyage that the canoes are taking, as an educational tool, which makes so much sense, because when you're on a va'a, when you're on a canoe and you're paddling together or you're sailing together, you really have to work as a community. You really have to learn to live with each other. You really have to learn to be in relationship with each other, relationship with the canoe, relationship with the elements, the birds, the ocean, everything's informing you. And then relationship with the stars, with the heavens, because that, with the celestial beings, that brings you in connection with, not only are you here on this planet, but you're also in connection to something greater than yourself. And that is also something that we as Hawaiians in the Hawaiian universe, we are connected. These are the stars are our ohana, the stars are our family, the earth is our family, every person is our family, every creature is our family. The Native Americans have a saying, all my relations. It's the same thing, ho matakuyasin. It's the same saying. This is all my ohana, every single thing here. So when something's your family and you really feel that, you don't want to hurt it. You don't want to destroy it. You want to take care of it. You want to love it. You want to malama. It's a deep love for the land. For the past 20 years, really, I've been involved with working with healing, mostly healing the energy body and the soul, and then the physical body as well. And I started by studying with a teacher, Brew Joy, who was actually a student of Nanaviri. And Nanaviri was an amazing woman. And one of the things she said was, it's time for Aloha to enter the great collective. And when I heard that the diaspora, that spreading of Hawaii, the way that Hawaiians went out into the world and left Hawaii, was because her way of seeing it energetically was that it was time for Aloha to enter the great collective. And when I heard that from this teacher that I was first studying with, I thought, wow, that I don't know, it moved me. It really moved me. And so I felt like it moved me in a way that I thought, this is part of my kuleana. Part of my kuleana is to go out into the world and share aloha. And aloha in itself is healing. When I was in Tucson, Arizona, I lived there for 8 years, and I worked with the integrative medicine program there, and teaching, and I established a way of doing ho'oponopono with the medical students and residents there that worked really well, and over the 8 years time that I was there, developed my own style of using ho'oponopono, and then also using hands-on healing. I work with the energetic body, and in Hawaii, and traditionally we believe in the aka fields, the aka chords. In other words, it's this threads, these energetic threads that connects us with each other and with everything. So that's what bonds us. That's what makes us ohana, really, is because when you see it that way, you're not really separate. Everything's connected through these aka chords. Everything's connected through these threads, and although we can't see them, they're there. And again, science is catching up with what ancient knowledge what we've known for, our kupuna, our ancestors have known for a long time, that the unseen world is connected to the seen world, that they're not separate. And just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So now, we have these modern technologies that can prove these things. But, our people knew this, the ancient peoples of Hawaii knew this. And we lived by that. We used plants for healing. We used energy, hands-on healing. So being aware of the unseen worlds as well as the seen worlds. So how we connect to this, how we respond energetically, how are we, our state of consciousness, our state of being. So if we're in the state of aloha, for example, that is going to be, excuse me, not only is it here, it emanates out from your field. It emanates around you. So wherever you go, if you're in the state of aloha, that's going to inform everybody around you. It's going to affect everybody around you. And so, if we're in a bad mood or if we're in a good mood, you'll notice that, right? If you're in a crowd of people and you're in a particular kind of state, that state affects everybody in the room or wherever you're at. When we do ceremony, for example, when we one year during the Whipsy conference, we went up to at the volcano and we were making ho'okupu, and we were before the conference started, we're making prayers, asking. These are ways of relating to the unseen forces. When you make prayers, when you make offerings, when you do ritual, you're asking that the forces all come, the energies all come, the deities all come and be with you, so that you can, so that whatever event that you're going to be doing will have their blessing, and will be pono, will be in alignment, in balance. So, so when we were going to do the ceremony, often when we do ceremony, okay, everybody's instructed to stay in the state of aloha while you're doing that. What does that mean? It means you have to be mindful. You have to go inside. If your thoughts start drifting off into, you see somebody and you start judging them, or bring yourself back. No, don't go there. Stay in the state of aloha. Why do you want to do that? Because whatever state you're in, whatever state you're invoking or evoking, is the state of being that's going to inform the rest of your life. That's going to inform the ritual, that's going to inform the ceremony, whatever you're doing. So remaining in that state of being. So when I'm doing my healing work, that's one of the things that I do, is whenever I have somebody on the table, on the massage table, which is how I work, I'm going to say a prayer, because prayer is probably about 80% really of the healing. The other 20% is we have to do something. But the actual prayer, the actual sincerity of the prayer as well really matters. So if you drop into that place, when I drop into that place before I work on a client, I'm going to make sure I'm in a particular state of being, the state of aloha, where I'm receptive. I'm receptive to receiving mana from the unseen forces, receiving energy from the unseen forces. I'm receptive to the possibility of healing, That's another thing, to have the intention that healing is going to take place, that I am in a healing presence, that I am in that state, and that I'm going to transmit this. I'm going to be a vehicle. It's not me doing the healing. It's this. It's my access to something greater than myself that's going to do the healing, not me. I'm the vehicle and I'm the conduit. So I'm here, I'm waiting, I open myself, I'm in the state of aloha, because if I'm in the state of aloha, when it comes through and I deliver it through my hands, your brother says, comes in our po'o, goes to our heart, and comes out our hands. You know, you hear him say, I've heard him say that before. That's what I'm talking about. Israel Kamaka Vivo'ole, who's a well-known musician in Hawaii. And he would say this because that's exactly it. You tune in, it drops in, it comes to your body, comes to your heart, comes to your hands or your mouth. The energy can also come up from the land, from the aina. It can come up through your feet, and I can also bring the energies up that way. And all it takes is an invitation. All it takes is a intention and an invitation. That's why a lot of times, that's why we use chant, we use prayer. You know, just the chant, e ho mai, e ho mai. You're calling something. You're calling it forward, and the forces, the deities, the unseen realms that assist you, they know your sincerity. They can feel it. So in the chanting and in the calling, this sincerity, this intention, this purity of intention and state of aloha, they know. So as sincere as you can be, and as clear as you can be, the more the energies will want to come and assist you. That's what I find. The more that I'm receptive, the more that I'm clear, the more that I'm in the state of aloha, the more unseen forces want to come and work with me and help the person that I'm administering to. So in this bringing of the aloha, this bringing of the, dropping down through the po'o into the heart, out through the mouth, or bringing up from the earth. Sometimes we like to do it simultaneously, drawing the energy up from the earth and pulling down the energies from the heavens, and then meeting at the heart, and then delivering through the hands or through the voice. So that's where the music comes in. That's where the music, the healing and the music join, is right there. Heaven and earth comes together, and then the aloha in the body, and then the songs come out. So when I'm singing, as well as when I'm doing my healing work, it's the same thing. I have the same intention. When I get ready to sing a song, I'm centering myself, bringing it in, bringing it through, meeting in the middle again, meeting at the heart, and then delivering through the voice. And then on the vibration of the voice, when I'm holding that vibration in myself and I deliver through the voice, that's what's coming through. That vibration that I'm holding in my body gets delivered through the voice. I grew up around Hawaiian music all of my life. My aunties were great hula dancers, and my uncles would be playing. This is how it was in our family, at least. Most of the uncles played guitars and ukuleles, and then the aunties would come and they'd jump up and do these improvisational hulas, and everybody, sometimes they'd be doing 3 different hulas at the same time, but they were choreographing their own haku, weaving their own hula. So anyway, I grew up around singing and dancing, and this was just a way of life. And then when I got to be in my late teens, I picked up the ukulele more seriously, and I began to learn songs from. In fact, my first one of a boyfriend of mine, as he was a musician, and I started to play music, and he was teaching me different songs on the ukulele, and we would sing at his family parties. And I never thought of singing in front of people, but then he encouraged me, and over time I became more and more comfortable. And then when I was in my mid-20s, I was really fortunate to I met Kindi Sproat, Clyde Halema'uma'u Sproat. He was one of Hawaii's treasures. He was a master falsetto singer and storyteller. And the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts, they were encouraging him to find an apprentice. And so at the time, he was playing music with this boyfriend of mine that I was talking about. And so he was looking for an apprentice, and he and I were jamming one day, and he said, "Hey, would you like to do this apprenticeship with me?" So he and I applied at the State Foundation, and we got a grant to study, for me to study with him. And I flew over to the Big Island. He was from the Big Island, Pololu, in Pololu Valley. And so I would fly there, and we'd spend time singing the songs. And we'd actually go and visit the place where the song was about. And then he would tell me the stories of the song, and then teach me the actual song there on site. So when I was doing this apprenticeship with him, I began to see how the Hawaiians, when they wove songs, there were these layered meanings in the songs. And I was fascinated to see this, because I'd always been interested in, the seen realms, the unseen realms, different things that were going on. This was something that interested me for a long time. So when I saw it in the music, that this was actually, for example, like when we're talking about a particular kind of flower, maybe you think the song literally it translates as they're talking about this flower, but they're actually talking about a person and the personality of that person. So when he began to show me and teach me the layered meanings in the songs, I began to then, through the music, see life in that way. I began to see the layers of meaning, and that is actually going on all the time. That there's not only one layer of existence going on, there's all these layers of existence going on, and that our people, the Hawaiian people, knew this, and that's the way they wrote songs. That's the way they wrote chants. The chants and the songs have layered meanings. There's something called kauna in Hawaiian, which means hidden or layered meanings. That tells you right in that word, kauna, layered meanings or hidden meanings, that there's more than one reality. It's built into the language is the values and the concepts and the cosmology of our people. So these layered meanings in songs is, it's something that when I'm writing music, I really am looking at. I'm looking at how maybe I'm singing about, for example, one of my songs, Ka'apuni o Molokai. The chorus says, Kui a kui a kui a lei, Ka'apuni o Molokai. It's a song about paddling around Molokai, and we're also weaving a lei around Molokai. So because we went around the island, and we stopped at all these sacred sites and brought gifts, brought ho'okupu. And what we're doing is energetically, what I felt like is we were making a lei of light around Molokai, a lei of prayers, a lei of unity, So the kauna of the song says, we're paddling a lei around Molokai. Well, this is, this is speaking poetically. Yes, we're paddling a lei. We're making, and leis are a symbol, like a same thing as a ring, right? It has no beginning and no end, and they're made of flowers, and they're given with love, and they're adornments, and so all of those things, all of those layers of meaning are inside of that song. If you know the layers of meaning around leis and what leis mean to our people. So I spent a lot of years playing at luau's, playing at music festivals, playing at small venues, and going, different parts of the world and playing music. And it was that experience that I was talking about earlier of going out into the world, and this aloha, this place of aloha being shared with different parts of the world. One time I played at a music festival that had like 10,000 people there, and I was able to. I asked everybody to put one hand on their heart, and then on the back of the person next to them, and to experience this going on, and then doing a chant of aloha while people were doing this. And 10,000 people doing that. Now that's really, really powerful. And it also confirmed to me that this was part of my kuleana. This was something that, it wasn't like I had planned that. It just happened, and I got invited to perform at this place, and it was through a friend of mine. And this has been kind of like what my life has been. It's one serendipitous event after another, and I just kind of follow it and go into, okay, now I'm doing this. And so this is, for the most part, this is the environment I wake up to each day. And I like to greet the day with, I start out actually with meditation, and eating and drinking a really nice fruit smoothie from the mangoes or papayas or whatever fruit I have. And that helps me to be, something about taking in also the fresh fruits or plants or vegetables from where you are, from where you live. There's something about getting that mana into your body. There's this way in which I feel like I'm more in touch also with the land when I'm eating what's coming from the land. So I like to start out my day that way, meditation, having a nice fruit smoothie, and then I'm going about really tuning in to this, slowing down. One of the ways that my creative process happens for me is inspiration from nature. Nature is one of my, is my inspiration. And when I am out, when I'm walking whether I'm walking on the beach and looking at the ocean, watching the fishes jump and watching the ripples of the water, watching how the water rolls in and out, and those kinds of rhythms and feelings are the things that I'm looking for to, because they're embodied, because I have them pa'a in me. And when I have them pa'a in me, that's the only time I feel like that I can really deliver them. So when I myself am in tuned with this, with nature, with the land, then I feel like I can be a conduit, an expression, that I can bring through the expression of the land, that I can bring through the elements of nature, that I can be, again, an ambassador for aloha, for nature, for the land, for the people, for the values of earth-based people who know what it's like to live on the land and to be from the earth and to be of the earth and to be in communion with nature. Recently, I took up playing the last maybe 2 years, I took up playing the didgeridoo, which is an Australian instrument. It isn't a Hawaiian instrument, and I feel like it's an earth-based instrument. It's something that when I play it, I play it as a way really of grounding. For me, it's because it has you circular breathe when you play the didgeridoo. So it's this connection to breath. The Hawaiians call it ha. The Hindus call it when you do breathing exercises to, pranayama, because you're actually taking in and out the air, and you begin to, when there's this circular breathing going on with the didgeridoo, there's this way in which you're connecting to the breath and you're connecting to the sound. And again, there's the sound and the breath. This is something that's that I am very interested in. It's something that moves me. It's something that inspires me. So the didgeridoo was a perfect match, it felt like, for an added instrument for me to play. I use it in my healing work. I use it to help people balance, to help myself balance. All these things, all these techniques and things that I use are things that really are healing for me. And what I think is that if it's healing for me and I'm being healed by the music, I'm being healed by the didgeridoo, I'm being, or it's helping me to connect more, then it's going to help others to connect more. So that's my hope, at least. That's what inspires me, is that if it's doing if it's making me feel this good, then hopefully it'll make others feel good. Of course, I play the ukulele, and I have an 8-string ukulele that I love to play, and as well as a 4-string, and I've been playing that since, my first ukulele I got when I was 5 years old, and I still have that instrument. And it's a kamaka pineapple, and I still have that one. I still play that every once in a while. The last probably 5 or 6 years, I've been working with groups quite a bit. And the group work is always a wonderful dynamic, because I get to share. I actually have retreats here in Puko'o, in Molokai, where people come and we do ritual, we do chanting, I play some music, we get to do healing work around what's going on in each person's life. And always in a circle, when you're working in a circle of people, or even a small group of people, it's very helpful to hear what each person is working with. And when you come together like that, then people are able to see, sometimes it doesn't feel like we're so lonely when we're working. We realize that, it's the human condition. We're all working with the same things. And so it's this, again, when we're working here in nature, it really, the people are able to drop into this place, to leave behind their busy lives, and to really slow down and that's part of, when you arrive on Molokai, you see that sign at the airport, slow down, you're on Molokai. I love that, because it really is a practice to slow down. Most of us have such busy lives that just being here on Molokai makes you slow down, and you begin again to be able to see those layers of reality. You begin to see that that bird is singing right now. Stop and listen to it and see. Maybe it's trying to call your attention to something. Maybe it has a message for you. There's always something going on. Sometimes when I begin chanting, the wind picks up, and it's like the ancestors coming on the wind are saying, yes, I'm here, I hear you. And so these are when people are here, we're able to commune and communicate with nature in a way that's you're away from the busyness of everyday life.